So far in our discussion of classes, we have used what are called instance variables. So variables that refer to a specific instance of the object. So self.length refers to the length of a specific rectangle rather than rectangles generally. But what if we want to have some parameters or variables referring to rectangles generally? We will use what are called static variables or class variables. And what I'll do is before this init statement, I'm actually going to define one. So I'll say num rectangles, and we're going to initialize it to 0. Then when I create a specific instance of a rectangle, what I'll want to do is increment this by 1. So I will refer to rectangle generally. Notice the capital to refer to this class generally. I'll say num rectangles plus equals 1. Save that. And what's going to happen is R is going to create one instance of a rectangle. S is going to create an instance of a square, but the square inherits rectangle. So we're going to create another rectangle. So I can say print rectangle.num rectangles. And if I run this, you'll see that there are two rectangles that exist, one for R and one for S. And I can also do this for r.num rectangles. Again, we get 2, because even though R was created here, this object has this variable shared between both R and S. So incrementing this variable after the creation of R still increments this class variable. So this is a variable that refers to all rectangles generally. And I can also do this for the square. So I can say num squares equals 0. And then at the end of the init, I can say square.num squares plus equals 1. Now if I print the number of rectangles and I print s.num squares, what you'll see is that we have 2 instances of rectangles and 1 instance of squares, because all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. So in creating a square, we are also creating a rectangle, but we are not also creating a square when we create a rectangle. So we can use these static or class variables to refer to all instances of an object generally.
So if this video was useful for you, please leave a like. It helps me grow the channel and it will help other people find the video. And again, if you would like to see these tools used in a broader context, I recommend checking out my Developer Diary series, where I am working long-term on big projects and actually putting these tools to use. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one.